Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sapna Dadwal. I'm working as a professor in the Department of Management at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. This is lecture 25th of Business Law. I'm starting with this lecture, Information Technology Act 2000. So we are going to cover the topic I'm going to cover in this lecture are Introduction of Information Technology Act 2000, Objectives of the Act, Features of the Act, Scope and Application of the Act, Digital Signatures, meaning of digital signatures, then digital signature certificates. So these are the topics I'm going to cover in this lecture. So I'm starting with the introduction of Information Technology Act 2000, which is also called as IT Act 2000. So the IT Act 2000, that is the cyber law of India, gives legal framework so that information is not denied legal effects, validity or enforceability solely on the ground that it is in the form of electronic record. So this is the basis of the act. The Information Technology Act is based on broadly on the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. So it is basically on the model of the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law, a model law on the e-commerce 1996. So this act is based on this e-commerce law of United Nations 1996. First, I would like to add that to the extent the changes, whatever the changes which are there in the world, in the modern technology of internet or e-commerce, it is said to be that increasing use of internet in all walks of life. So these changes have increased the use of internet in all walks of life, and growth of e-commerce necessitated the creation of relevant cyber law. So the increase of internet and the growth of e-commerce actually serves as the basis for the new cyber law, which can cover all the cyber crimes, or which can make people liable who were unauthorizedly using data, or who were making fraud on cyber, or who were using fraud to other people. So the basis of the enactment of this act was this. Now the objectives, this will be clear from the objectives of the act. What are the objectives behind the enactment of this act? Actually, the first was to grant legal recognition for transactions carried out by means of electronic data, interchange and other means of electronic communication. So it grants legal recognition for all the transactions which carried out by the electronic means or electronic communications. The second objective is to give legal recognition to digital signatures for authentication of any information. So this law gives the legal recognition to digital signatures. Then third one is to facilitate electronic filling of documents with government departments. So this law helps and facilitate electronic filling or filing of documents. Then fourth objective is to facilitate electronic storage of data. Then fifth one is to facilitate and give legal sanctions to electronic fund transfers between banks and other financial institutions. Then sixth objective is to give legal recognition for keeping books of accounts by bankers in electronic form. So these were the objectives of the act. With these objectives, this act was enacted in 2000. Now the main features of the act are: electronic contracts have been made legally valid if made through secure electronic communication. Then legal recognition has been granted to digital signatures. Security procedures for electronic records and digital signatures have been laid down. Digital signatures are required to be effected by the use of asymmetric crypto system, and hash function. Recognition has been granted to the right of licensed certified authorities to issue digital signature certificates. Then the controller is to act as repository of all digital signature certificates. The next feature of this act is to facilitate e-governance. Provisions have been included to build the required system. Then various types of computer related crimes have been defined and stringent penalties provided under this act for the crimes which are related to computers. Then a procedure has been laid down under the act for the appointment of adjudicating officers. Then a provision has been made under the act for the establishment of cyber regulatory appellate tribunals. Then an appeal against the order of cyber appellate tribunal can be made in High Court. The act will also apply on offences committed outside India. Then senior police, because of this act, this act gives the senior police officers a power to enter in any public place and search and arrest without warrant. So this act has given police officers power to enter in any public place. They don't have to. They don't need any warrant. For searching and for arresting people. Then 14th main feature of this act was a provision have been made in this act for the constitution of cyber regulatory advisory committees. Now, scope and application of this act, IT Act 2000. The act extends to whole of India. However, the act shall not apply to. There are some exceptions where this act is not going to apply. A negotiable instrument defined in section 13 of the Negotiable Act 1881. This doesn't apply to negotiable instruments. Then second one is a power of attorney as defined as in section 1A of Power of Attorney Act 1882. Then third one is a trust as defined in section 3 of the Indian Trust Act 1882. It doesn't apply there also. A will as defined in clause H of section 2 of the Indian Succession Act 1925. This also doesn't apply here. Then any contract for the sale of immovable property or any interest in such property. This act also doesn't apply here. The IT Act 2000 doesn't apply here. Then any such class of documents of transactions as may be notified by the central government in the official gazette, that is section 1. So the IT Act doesn't apply in these cases. These are the exception to this. Now the next topic is digital signatures. So digital signatures means authentication of any electronic record by a subscriber by means of an electronic method or procedures in accordance with provision of section 3. So section 3 provides that any subscriber may authenticate an electronic record by affixing his digital signatures. So the authentication of electronic record shall be effected by the use of asymmetric crypto system and hash function, which envelop the transform the initial electronic record into another electronic record. The hash function means an algorithm mapping or translation of the sequence of bits into another, generally smaller set known as hash result, such that an electronic record yields the same hash result every time the algorithm is executed with the same electronic record as its input, making it computationally infeasible. So any person by the use of a public key of subscriber can verify the electronic record. The private key and the public key are unique to the subscriber and constitute a functioning key pair. So this is the meaning of digital signature and how to use it. And section 3 actually gives the meaning of section 3 of the IT Act 2000 describe what is the meaning of digital signature. Now the next topic is digital signature certificates. The procedure of encryption and digital signatures is strengthened through the system of digital certificates. When a person wants to own a public and private key and use authenticated digital signature on his electronic messages and records, he has to obtain a digital signature certificate. For this, he has to apply to certifying authority, which is a private professional agency authorized by government for this purpose. The authority makes suitable verification about the applicants and then, on being satisfied, grants a digital signature certificate in the form of digital file to the applicant. So a digital certificate is an electronic password that allows a person, organization to exchange data securely over the internet using the public key infrastructure, that is PKI, or digital signature certificate are also known as public key certificates. Now some important definitions. The first one is access. It means gaining, entry into, instructing or communicating with logical, arithmetical or memory function resources of a computer. This is called as access. This definition is given in section 2(1)(a) of the IT Act 2001. Then second is addressee. It means a person who is intended by the originator to receive the electronic record. Then next one is asymmetric crypto system. It means a system of a secure key pair consisting of a private key for creating a digital signature and a public key to verify the digital signature. Then certificate practice statements. It means a statement issued by a certifying authority to specify the practices that the certifying authority employs in issuing digital signature certificates. Now, cyber security. Cyber security means protecting information, equipment, devices, and information stored therein from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, or destruction. So there are some other also I would like to tell you, like communication device. Communication device means cell phones, personal digital assistants, or combination of both, or any other device used to communicate, send, or transmit any text, video, audio, or image. Then another word is computer network. Computer network means the interconnection of one or more computers or computer systems or communication device through the use of satellite, microwave, terrestrial line, etc. Then another word is computer resource. It means computer system, computer network, data, computer database, or software. Then cyber cafe. Cyber cafe means any facility from where access to the internet is offered by any person in the ordinary course of business to the members of the public. Then another word which is very common in IT Act, Information Technology Act 2000, that is data. It means a representation of information, knowledge, fact, concepts, or instructions which are being prepared or have been prepared in a formalized manner and is intended to be processed. Then electronic form. Electronic form means, with reference to information, means any information generated, sent, received, or stored in media. Then electronic gadget. Electronic gadget means official gadget published in electronic form. Then electronic record. It means data, record or data generated, image or sound stored, received, or sent in an electronic form. Then electronic signature, that I am going to discuss in my next lecture. Then information, it includes data, text, images, sound, voice, codes, computer programs, software, databases, or microfilms, etc. This is all called as information. Then private key, it means the key of a key pair used to create a digital signature. Then public key, it means the key of a key pair used to verify a digital signature and listed in the digital signature certificate. Subscriber, in other words, subscriber, it means a person in whose name the digital signature certificate is issued. So these are the important words which are part of IT Act 2000. Now these are the questions which are related to the above topics I have discussed in this lecture. If any queries there, please do contact me. Please ignore the writing mistakes. Thank you. Thank you so much.